Call of Duty has been a behemoth in the video game industry since it was first released back in 2003 and has gone from strength to strength ever since. Whilst the multiplayer has received a lot of the attention from fans and critics over the years, what about the single player campaigns? What is up guys, it's JHC Gaming, and in today's video I am going to be ranking the Call of Duty campaigns from worst to best. Just keep in mind, this is just my opinions on the campaigns. I will be excluding games like Call of Duty 1, 2 and 3 as I never really played them, and I will also be excluding Black Ops 4 as that game did not launch with a campaign. Let's get into the video. We start off at the bottom with number 13, which is Black Ops 3. If I was talking about the multiplayer of this game, it'd be higher on a different list, but that's another list for a different day. People can agree that this campaign is by far the weakest in the series, with the story being all over the place. To give it credit, this game did have some positive elements with the visuals, the gunplay and the creative set pieces, but the story was completely and utter nonsense, and many fans, including me, were annoyed that Black Ops 3 hardly connected to Black Ops 1 or 2. Like, why was this even called a Black Ops game? It was bad. Up next is Call of Duty Ghost. I'll start off by saying at the time, when this came out, it was a fun game. The story though, going back and playing it, it wasn't the best in the series. The game came out during the last generation of consoles like the PS4 and Xbox One. It was meant to be a good visual game, but it wasn't. This was probably because they had to make the game for the PS3 and 360 as well. The main villain Rourke was forgettable. He was a former member of the Ghosts who hunted the ghosts while working for the Federation. Infinity Ward could have done more to explain the motivation for invading the US and how they came to power. Overall, I think Infinity Ward wanted to make a new franchise that could rival the Modern Warfare series, but they fell quite short, as we haven't seen another COD Ghost game been released ever since, and annoyingly, they left it on a cliffhanger. At number 11, we have Advanced Warfare. Off the bat, Sledgehammer took a different approach with this campaign, more so than any other campaign before it. At least with the other campaigns before, they wanted to be slightly realistic. AW though, not so much. They went over the top with this self-aware, cheesy movie-esque type game. It was fun, but stupid. The story was done. I don't think it was trying to be anything special, but when comparing it to the other CODs with great campaigns, with good gameplay and good story, bottom of the pile seems fair for this game. Next on the list is Call of Duty World War II. I know a lot of people who like the campaign, and myself included, but hear me out. In terms of originality, the story wasn't anything special. The game had some great visuals and the characters were solid enough. However, the story is simple, short and quite predictable. Now there's nothing wrong with a simple story. However, the story did not stick with me like World at War. It was a good game, but for people who are saying this is the best World War II campaign, I disagree. It's more than likely that these people are new to the Call of Duty franchise and didn't play World at War. That's why it probably stands out as one of the best to them. But when you're comparing it with the Golden Age of campaigns, it's not even on the same pitch. At number 9 we have Black Ops Cold War. This was a fun and enjoyable campaign, with series favourites Mason and Woods returned to the campaign, albeit with different voice actors. The visuals were stunning, probably some of the best in the series. The game's events take place between Black Ops and Black Ops 2, and you play as Bell. You can choose your name, gender and character profile. 2 abilities grant you bonuses from improved reload speed and sprinting ability to more grenades or greater resilience. It's a fantastic way to get you more involved and make you feel an equal member of your crack team of international agents. For all those new features, it doesn't have that wow moment, and they could have done a lot more with one of the most exciting pseudo conflicts in history. Is it the best Black Ops series? Best in the Black Ops series? Not by a long shot. Is it better than Black Ops 3? Definitely. Coming in at number 8 is Modern Warfare 2019. If I'm being honest, I was underwhelmed by the campaign due to the fact that it was really short. Too short. The visuals were excellent for this game, there's no doubt in that. Infinity Ward decided to take a fresh approach with this game, with a smaller scale than what we're used to. What I mean by this is that we were not this super soldier in a sea of explosions. We were just a normal soldier that was in this situation that was far bigger than us, and it brought me back to when I was playing Call of Duty 4. The writing could have been a little bit better, but overall a very, very good game. Up next at number 7, I'll probably get a little bit of hate for this, but it's Infinite Warfare. Let me explain. We all know the internet hated this game and it failed in the eyes of Activision, but I think the campaign is a diamond in the rough, and I applaud Infinity Ward for sticking to the guns and going all out with this campaign, even though they would get a lot of hate for it. There's a sci-fi military story. In spite of being silly on paper, it managed to keep a level of seriousness and believability. The over-the-top locations allowed for some fantastic set pieces and shootouts. The characters were solid, the campaign was memorable, and I wouldn't be mad if they made an Infinite Warfare 2. Now, at number 6, we have Modern Warfare 3. This was a good game and had a good campaign. It had some great set pieces and great levels. It tied into the previous Modern Warfare games, but this game just had altered levels of Modern Warfare MW2. Unlike the previous titles in the franchise, this game came in for a lot of flack for being over the top. Whilst Modern Warfare was a more grounded shooter, Modern Warfare 2, yeah, you could say it was a bit over the top, but it still had believability. The story tied up quite nicely, but it was the weaker one in the series when we're talking about the campaigns of the Modern Warfare series. As we move into the top 5, we have Black Ops 2. I'll say it, this was the first COD game to introduce branching storylines, and I wish the developers would take a risk and add them to future campaigns. Treyarch showed us that if you implement it properly, it works fantastic. The characters in this game were solid. No, none more so than Raul Menendez. The story was perfectly written, carrying on from the first game. The decisions were tough, and the added addition of custom loadouts was a nice touch, which added some replay value. This is one of the best campaigns, and we still have 4 to go. At number 4, we have World at War, the best World War II shooter of all time, in my opinion. The story was excellent. It had you switching perspectives, just like Modern Warfare before it, between the Red Army and the Marines. Treyarch was given the go-ahead by Activision to make a World War II game as graphic as they wanted to, and they truly delivered with this masterpiece. The reason that I was so critical of World War II before is that it didn't and couldn't live up to World at War. If you haven't played this game, you really should. It's fantastic. At number 3, this is probably the best game Treyarch has made, and that is Black Ops 1. What a game. They took historical events and filled in the blanks with their own version of history, and the characters that they created interacted with real historical figures. This game had excellent gun battles and fantastic stealth missions, and the fact this game continued on from World at War made it all the better. Every other COD game has tried to replicate this formula, and they haven't been able to pull it off. And now at number 2, this was a game that was so influential both on the multiplayer and campaign. I don't need to talk on why MW2 Multiplayer is good. With the campaign, they took the foundations laid by Modern Warfare and cranked it up all the way to 10. The characters were memorable. The world wasn't quite as believable as Modern Warfare, but it still made for a great campaign, even though it did feel like a over-the-top Hollywood action film, and that's probably why I'd rank it at number 2. Finally, at number 1, we have the game that started it all off, Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. This was the game that started it all for the series and made it what it is today. The game had great over-the-top set pieces that COD is known for, but it still managed to tell the story of the horrors of war without alienating the player. It had the two perspectives with different narratives that blended all together to make a really good story. And for me, this is the best Call of Duty campaign of all time. That's the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know down in the comments what your favourite Call of Duty campaign is of all time. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe and hit the bell notification to be notified when a new video goes up. And until next time, I'll see you later.